Hello, World Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. Happy Friday, August 26th. Yes, another store review. We've got the VK9001 pulled up for a reason. It is for sale for gold in the stores for the first time ever, but you probably can't afford it, I'm afraid, guys. Yeah, it's going to be a whopping 35,000 gold. We'll get to that in a second. Just want to mention the Cromwell B event. Basically, all you have to do is get wins in your 2x or 5x tanks. Best way to do that is just come on up here, turn on the filters, win one battle in each of your tanks, and knock that out to get the Cromwell B, which is a very lovely, you're going to like it if you don't already have it, tier 6 medium tank with a nice credit coefficient. We got two pop-up offers I want to talk about. This one almost knocked me out of my chair. 10 million credits, 1 million free XP for $100. Yeah, I know that that can be tempting for those of you that are fairly new to the game and don't have the credits to buy tanks. But you really got to use those events like the gravity mode, like what's going on right now here with burning games, to grind your tanks and basically earn those credits and that free XP. And to do that, the best way is to make sure that you have your premium time and you have some good credit coefficient earning tanks, premiums. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. I wanted to do a video on separately for those of you that are new to the game and new to grinding. Now, one of the things I did want to talk about in this bundle was the 205X boosters for $25. These 5X boosters, essentially, it's like winning 5 games for every 1 game that you play. And that really cuts down on the number of battles you have to play. In the tech tree tanks is where you want to use these. The problem is you cannot turn them on or off. So basically, your next 200 games are going to be these 5X boosters. And the problem you're going to find with this many boosters is that you don't have the silver to purchase enough tanks. You're going to unlock the tanks with your XP, but you're not going to have the silver in order to buy the next tier up using these. So you're going to waste a good bit of these. So I just wanted to point that out as kind of a word of caution. I do really like the 5X boosters. They are super beneficial for those of you that are grinding tanks. And back to the comment there, I'm going to do a video. It's in my head. I want to just get it down on the best ways to most efficiently grind tanks. So let's jump into the store and see what we've got going on here. We've got a huge bundle here. I'll talk about that in a second. The Lanson moose, I'll talk about that in a second, but we got to get to the VK9001 here for 35,000 gold. Yeah, you are going to get 3 mystery crates. You're going to get the 9 equipment slots unlocks and 25X boosters. Does apply to all tanks. So if you are a person that just had to have this VK9001, and I think the price on this is extremely way too high. Number one, because the Kyler here was given away for free not too long ago. So to me, that tank has very little value in this bundle. This is just a lot to pay for a tier 10 heavy tank. To make the most out of this, like I was talking about before, you really want to use these 5X boosters on your tech tree tanks, on tanks that you are grinding to get to the next tier. So you're going to buy this, and you're going to have to play your tech tree tanks in order to get the most value out of this bundle before you can even play the VK90. But anyway, I am not a super fan of this tank. I know a lot of you guys do really like the armor profile on it. To me, it's very team dependent. So again, I think that is way too much for this tank. Now, I do want to talk about this capital source. It's also $100, a big investment in the game. You're going to get 47,500 gold plus 250 Boosters, the way I calculate the result of the booster is I assume you're a 50% win rate at tier 10, and you only play tier 10 with these boosters turned on. That's going to make this bundle here worth about 51,000 gold or 512 gold per dollar. So we've gotten it above that 350 threshold that we like to be at. But it's not in the 600, 700, 800 where we get a really good deal. Now, what sweetens the pot here a little bit is the mystery certificate. You are guaranteed a tank. And it was pointed out, and I really would like, if someone has done this already, to point me in the direction where I can find it. You'll see the drop chances here. We do have quite a few tier 10s. And so if that's 12 tanks, you're looking at a 15% chance of getting a tier 10 tank out of this, right? The tier 9s jump up to 4%, but there's only 4 of them, I believe. Yep. So, again, another 12, 13% there. And then the percentages really drop to 0.4. I think they might even go a little bit. 0.6 is the other one in here. But you can see then when we get down to the tier 5s and 6s, it jumps up to 1.1. And there's a lot of them. So it would be interesting to know what the breakdown is per tier as to what percent chance you have of getting a tier 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Just because, I didn't feel like there's a very high probability you would get a tier 9 or 10. Anyway, you are guaranteed that tank, though, and that is certainly a benefit. The lucky containers here, 3 lucky containers here for $50. You are guaranteed to get 3 tier 8 tanks. If you pull a tank that you already have, you will get an up tier box. So you'll open a tier 9 box after that. So this is another way to guarantee you getting 3 tanks out of this deal. The G-Sor is still going on here. 18 crates there. I believe this was charms. I think you needed 25 charms to get that. So I'm personally waiting for this to come back in the stores for gold. I'm not going to gamble on these crates. Now, the Lanson, I think it was in a bundle as well. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Wanted to just quickly check here what the sale price, $4 here, and this tank goes for $1,500. So not super great deal. The 5X does apply to all tanks there. So what did I say? 1,500 divided by 4, 375. So really not a great deal on this tank. You could do to get 25 extra boosters, so that's going to push you up into the 400 range on this. Tier, I didn't really talk about tank. Tier 4 tank, it does get preferential matchmaking, I believe, so you'll always be top tier. But to me, this is just not a tank you're really going to want to play that frequently. The best deal on the game right now is for $5, the subscription for gold. This is going to get you 5,000 gold for $5 to 1,000 gold per dollar. That is one of the best deals you will see. And you're also going to get 50,000 free XP. Now, guys, the caveat to this, you have to log in every day to claim this, okay? So just remember that for 10 straight days, you've got to log in and claim that 500 daily gold. But again, best deal in the game right now for $5. I think the tanks are going to show up in the tank section, so I'm going to talk about those there. We do have the battle pass. I don't really talk about it towards the end of the month, so we'll skip over that. And then we'll talk about tanks. So did they put they didn't put the bundle down here. All right, so they had the bundle here for 15,000 gold, and I actually bought this on my reroll account just because the Shark, the T-54E2, is such a powerful tank. To me, this is almost a must-own tank at Tier 8, especially if you like playing ratings battles. It can really hold its own The AMX M4, I have had some big games in this tank as well. The armor profile on this is tremendous if you can just keep it pointed directly at your enemies. And, you know, with everything else, the camos and everything else, and I forget what the order came to in the end. I think it was, yeah, 5 mystery crates. I didn't get anything out of those, but I felt like 15,000 gold was a good price for that. But if we go back up to the top, they've added the Progetto here, another must-own tank at tier 8, active auto loading tank, great mobility. Um, and that's only an additional 7,000 gold, so a good price for the Progetto as well, even though it was given away for free not too long ago. Anyway, to me, you that bundle there has 2 must-own tanks. This one, the Shark, I feel like is a must-own. If you don't have quite enough gold, you can the buy it by itself for 8,500. But keep in mind, like I said, to equip a tier 8 tank is 2 million credits. So keep that in mind as well for those of you that might not have a lot of credits either. Um, Tank I do want to talk about. Price is starting to come down on this. The Lanson C. Uh, Good mobility on this tank, and the gun hits pretty hard for a medium tank, 320 average damage, and that's what I like about it. It's not one of these 190 damage, you have to be on target shooting all the time, and it's not one of these 420 average damage where if you miss, the penalty is a 15-second reload. You've got a 9-second reload there without equipment, and I've really enjoyed playing the Lanson tank. I think it's good. Price still a little bit too high here at 12,500. I would expect to see more of a tier 10, but like I said, it's only been for sale one other time, so do keep that in mind. Not going to talk about the IS-2 bundle here. We talked about that last week. Just a couple days left on the Action X. To me, I would put the Action X just behind the Shark, just because of the fact, that is one of those tanks here with the lower damage shot. Oops, meant to go here. As you can see, 190 average damage. So you've got a 4.5-second reload time. So you can out DPM a lot of tanks in this. But again, you have to be on target quite a bit, which is okay with this tank because you can see it's got a great armor profile. And it does play those hills and ridgelines extremely well. A little bit slower, I believe, than the Shark, or at least it feels that way. So I would rate that just behind the Shark, and it's kind of a must-own tier 8 tanks. We're not going to talk about the Kyler. This thing was given away for free, and now they're trying to sell it for 12,500. If I could go into my store and sell it for 12,500, I would definitely do that right now. Again, the gold boxes here is kind of just an addition to the original gold boxes. You're going to get some mystery crates out of it. Not a whole lot of great things in the mystery crates, I don't believe. And again, remember, last time I put the link to the online store, and there's some deals in there, and the 2x bonus gold offers there as well if you haven't already picked those out. You can see I have not been playing in a while. My God, all my free containers ready to be opened. The lockbox keys, this is a better deal to buy your lockbox keys, but remember, what did I say? It was only a 3% chance on the 3 or 4% chance on the Super Conch. The Lucky Sevens, I like the idea of these in the sense that you are guaranteed to get yourself a tank, but there's a lot of tier 6 and tier 7 tanks that you don't want. And quite honestly, I tried this on my reroll and just got tanks that, I am not really interested in. So I was a little bit disappointed in that as well. So yeah, I'm just going to touch on the Watchful Patrol just in case you are interested in the Lanson. It does come with the M4 FL10. I love this tank with the really short in-between burst here. Reload between shots, 1.3 seconds. So you've got a full magazine of 3 seconds and 2.6 seconds. You've unloaded 3 shells at 144 damage each, and it really catches some people off guard. movement mobility as expected in kind of an M4 type of tank, and nice little bundle here. I do think it's a little bit high, but there we have it. The store review for August 26th. I hope you guys have fun out there. Remember, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.